Quick question. Go ahead.
What time do I need to stop for Rebecca? Because I'll watch the clock. 12.
We'll give her 20 minutes.
Okay. And
And
when
I'm
was this?
planning a 3:15, I'm sorry, a 12:15 stop or whatever time it is. 15 after the hour, on the hour for the stop today.
15 after the hour. Okay, I gotcha.
And you are live with AI Companion running.
Let's roll.
All righty. Here we go. Did you make her a host?
I'm doing it right now.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome. Hi,
Catherine.
Lou.
Yes, hang on just a second.
Kathy.
Thank you.
I'm here.
Oh, hello. Hi, Cindy and another Kathy. Hey, Benita. Oh, Gina. Hiya. It's so good to see y'all. And Laura, I absolutely love your background. I didn't get a chance to tell you that this morning, but it's gorgeous.
Well, thank you very much.
Love it. It is so nice to see y'all. I do want to let you know that we are being recorded. So if you do not want your faces to be seen on YouTube, you need to turn off your video right now. Welcome, y'all, to the AI or How to Hands-On. And I'm going to give it on over to Stephanie.
Oh, but you're doing wonderful.
No.
We have such a good time that time here doing our romper room segment with you as Miss June. It was very pleasurable. So
I know.
I thought it was fun. So, well, today I think we have we're going to continue in our podcasting series, and Sabrina Dollinger is on with us. I think we maybe have her for 5 more minutes since she may get called back to work, but we're going to take advantage and finish up our podcasting series today. Maybe we're going to give it a try. And then we will move into having Rebecca talk more about how to make a link tree. So I thank you everybody for joining, and Sabrina and I are going to make this work. I'm going to do some driving and she's going to do some steering. And between us, we've got audio that we think is going to work, and we're going to give it a shot. So how are we going to get started, Sabrina?
So to get started today, just in case you haven't been here before, I'm Sabrina Drollinger. I have a podcast called Caring for Autism, Profound Uncertainty. I have a 16-year-old son who has profound autism. And there are a lot of unique issues that come along with that. And so I wanted to share it with the world. And I have a friend who also wanted to share it with the world because she also has a profoundly autistic child. And so that's how I kind of got into podcasting. And I just want to make it clear, I'm not like a veteran at this. I think I started doing this in the spring. And so I've just been learning as I go. I use a very specific site that I always like to say, and I can probably put it in the chat, but it's called Riverside. And the reason that I use it is it has a lot of tools that make a life a lot easier. And Stephanie and I will show you some of that today. But it does make everything a lot easier. It's only free for a couple of hours. Like you can get a couple hours of free time on that, of video recording. But beyond that, you have to pay. And we've talked about the pay structure in the past. But I just want to mention that because it does make life a lot easier. There are free options, but they are a lot harder to use. They're just not as user friendly.
So
And
Sabrina, I know I tried using the Riverside FM free version, and I was able to edit, but it is not easy. It is very much, I don't know if anybody has any experience with ever having done this, but it's a challenge. I mean, you are taking out every and ah using a video, I'm sorry, an audio editor, and the features that Riverside brings really help with that.
It really does. It makes life a lot easier when you're trying to do a podcast because podcasting is time intensive. I'm not going to lie. And so I'm just going to briefly go over the first thing you have to do is really develop a good idea. So today we're going to show you a really good example of that. I was thinking about like what might be more relatable to you guys because although my autism stuff is very important to me, it's not necessarily very important to everybody. But the top, so I was trying to think like what would be more relatable. So Stephanie and I are creating a new podcast. She doesn't know this yet, but anyway, I'm just kidding. But we came up with an idea, and the podcast would be called Controversial Good. And basically what it is that you would talk about things that had happened recently or relevant to you or whatever that is controversial, that it is happening, but you see good coming from it. And the reason that I decided to go with that is because one, it's relatable. I mean, the experience that we're going to talk today about is a TikToker and some of the stuff she's been doing. And it's controversial. So that means there's going to be debate, there's going to be two sides, which is going to make it more interesting and people are going to be more invested. And more likely to listen to your podcast, which is the goal, right? You want people to listen, you want to disseminate that information. So Stephanie and I did a little preview for you of what this podcast would look like, and later we'll volunteer to participate and try to do an example of said podcast. So without further ado, I will let Stephanie start pulling up the podcast, and we have a video to show you. So how we went through this is I told Stephanie, hey, this is my idea. What do you think about this? And we developed it together. And I wrote up a script, which actually, Stephanie, I guess we could show them.
Sure.
It's very basic. It's just to guide the conversation so we don't get off in left field, but also so that we know where we're going. Right? It's just like writing a paper, if you will. You got to know where you're going and what your point is, because at the end of the day, there needs to be some meat there. And so
I'm going to share that script right now just for the heck of it.
So you're kind of seeing how this is happening. I'm trying to give an example of it. So if you look here at what Stephanie's written up, I basically kind of designated who would talk about what. I don't always do that, but for the purposes of today, it was easier for Stephanie and I.
So let's talk a little bit about how long we talked about this to get 5 minutes out of it.
Okay.
We talked for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
What's important to understand, I think, to me, like, what is the commitment here? I mean, yeah, you can get on and you can do a variety of things. However, if you're going to do something that has a little more style to it, you have to do some planning. So that hour and a half resulted in fairly good 5 minutes.
Yeah, and you all can be the judge. Don't actually tell me what you think. Just
I
judge
agree.
your head, please. Just kidding. So if you can see here, basically there's an introduction. You always have to do an introduction. You always want to mention to some degree your podcast. So with mine, I actually say what the podcast is, but as you'll see with Stephanie, we just kind of fit it into a sentence, but you definitely want to make sure people know what your podcast is.
Yeah, Stephanie kind of wings it because she's not good at reading the script as she goes, but she's practicing. I couldn't make the teleprompter work.
No, actually, that's great. And I didn't tell you this, Stephanie, but that's actually great because that brings a unique voice to it. I will have plenty of opportunity to talk because I take it. Obviously, I'm a talker. But I love when people make it their own. My other podcaster that I do the autism with, she's a little different than me. So we get two very unique voices, which again makes it more interesting, right?
Sure.
Who wants to just listen to me talk?
Oh, I do.
Except for me. Anyway, so
without further ado.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's show them what we did.
Play it. Okay, so I'm going to play this. Now, you may hear a little bit of reverb because we are in Zoom playing this while we're listening to it. So if you can listen past that while we play, and it's only 5 minutes long.
No, that's the clip.
Oh, well, let's play the clip. Let's start with that. It's quick.
And she asked, as far as I know, at least 42 churches for assistance in buying formula, which is like less than $20, so that she could make it through and feed her baby. Of the 42 churches she asked and religious institutions that she asked, 9 said yes, 33 Christian churches said no. And they were all Christian churches of various denominations, Baptist, Methodist, etc. Now Stephanie's going to talk more about why this is controversial.
Freakish, isn't it? That in this situation, in this environment, when we're working through the SNAP benefits and people are going hungry, that religious institutions that profess to be embracing and encompassing and all welcoming are kind of like, man, maybe no, not us.
Okay, so the great thing about that is a clip, one that was created based on our overall podcast. We did not create that clip, AI did. And the other thing is that can be a pool. You put that on TikTok or Instagram or something, you get people interested, and then they go listen to your whole 40-minute or whatever podcast. So that's a great way to get people coming in, especially young people who use a lot of tech.
I hear you. So shall we look at the full podcast now and talk a little bit more about it? Now I see we have two things here. We have a 20-second 28-second item and we have a 7-minute item. I think I want the 7-minute item.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Because, and the
What do
reason
I want?
no, the reason is, and the reason Stephanie doesn't know this is because I've been doing podcasting so much, I know exactly what's happened. The first one is the unedited version of us. We used AI exclusively. We didn't do any editing except for AI editing on the 6-minute video. And you'll find that with the AI editing, it took out a minute of ums and ahs and pauses and, irrelevant information. It does ask you, do you want to cut this? And we say, yep, get rid of that. So it does a lot of the work for you. Now you have to go back and listen to it again. And as we listen to this, you'll hear our mistakes because we haven't gone in and done extra editing. But that going from that 1 minute can take a long time to edit without AI. So AI is very useful here.
I can tell you, because I have done some video editing, that getting that 1 minute out would have probably taken me half an hour. Just on 7 minutes, getting out just our iffies would have taken me a half hour easily. So having the ability to have a augmentation go in and remove the obvious stuff so that we can then tweak the fine stuff is a huge benefit.
Yeah, because a minute can take me easily a half hour. And I'm a perfectionist, so it's better that somebody else does it before I touch it. Anyway.
So what we have is we have two videos. We have our original, or what I'm going to call our raw version, and we have the lightly edited AI that took out all of our issues. So we're not going to show folks the AI because it can take some time. We're going to move to the fully rendered AI version, and then we're going to do some light editing. Now, I'm not watching a lot whether folks are having questions or whether this is just going okay. Cecilia, can you give me a head nod? Okay, we're going then. I have a slightly faster PC than Sabrina's Mac. So we decided it would be better for me to do this work than her. We worked this out. That was the hour and a half of podcasting. There you go. All right. Tell me what you'd like me to do.
Go ahead and hit play.
Okay. Do we want to explain the screen at all?
Oh, well, we can.
Just quickly.
Yeah. What you're seeing right here is a transcript of what was said on the left, and you can directly edit in that to remove things. If you see at the bottom of that paragraph right there where there's a line through the words, that got deleted, and that's how they show it, with the line through the words. And you can undo it too if you want to.
Cool. So we're looking at the transcript on the left side and the video on the right. And the way we edit is by editing the written word, not necessarily by doing something else.
Right.
Now we could come down here to this taskbar and start doing crap, but avoid that because it just makes you get confused. Is that fair?
Wait till you're really an expert at podcasting, and then if you want to mess with it, because right now is not the time.
Okay.
No, I mean, wait till you're good at it. But yeah, you can go ahead and play. So there are different ways that you can get this to the beginning. You can move that line that's down there on the thing, but it's a pain to use because of all the options. So you can also just click on the first word.
Yeah, because you get a whole bunch of choices here to add a scene or add a this or add a that. I started making all these chapters in my podcasts and outtakes of scenes, and it's like you get really hosed up down there on that bar. This is a much nicer place to work.
And
Okay.
it does some of those things for you. If you see over the track, the thing at the bottom that's green and pink,
Mhm.
that's me and Stephanie talking. And up above it, you'll see they have chapters. Introduction to the controversial experiment, right above the track, Stephanie.
Oh, I did a call out. I'm sorry. So I thought
No,
you
you're
could see
right.
my call
It,
out.
no worries. Introduction to controversial experiments, right above the track. The response from religious institutions and public reactions and stereotypes. So that was automatic too. AI did all that. Oh, you went up there. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. No, that's an example of a chapter. So
Yeah. So
I
those are the
apologize.
different ones. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So shall we go back to the beginning?
And one more thing on the right
Okay.
hand side, and we'll get to it, is where you have all these extra editing options and stuff. So that's on the right hand side. And we'll show you that in a minute. Oh,
Yeah, we've
well,
talked a little, that's okay. We've talked a little bit about the AI tools. So literally you hit AI tools and you select apply. So everywhere where I have a check mark, we have added that particular kind of editing in. What we didn't do was add in smart mute because it was doing something weird. So we
mhm.
added it and we took it out. So, all right, I think we have done enough overview for now.
Yep.
Let's let it rip. Hi, my name is Stephanie, and I'm here today with Sabrina, and we are going to talk about controversial good things that are happening around us today. We're going to discuss a woman who made phone calls to various religious institutions in an attempt for help and evaluate Nikila, according to some, been testing churches to see what kind of a response she. So I stopped the podcast when we were doing it and I said, I've got a word that's missing. I need the word who. Can I add it?
And so, as far as I know, the only way to alter a section is to input a new clip. So, in this situation, I would let it go because people understand what you're saying.
Okay.
But if it's essential and you've actually kind of like, you're like, oh, I really need to record that again, you can re-record, you can record a new clip and then put it into the track where you want it, and it will go through.
Sounds like an advanced feature.
It is. That takes a lot more effort, and I don't want to get
Okay.
there because if you decide to do a podcast, feel free to contact me. I am happy to answer what questions I can. Um, so
Well,
I mean,
those of us who are learning this should probably lightly edit and not be quite such a perfectionist when it comes to making sure it's just right, huh?
yeah, well,
Okay.
I
Then let's
don't love that, but yes, you're right.
then let's play.
I'm a perfectionist. Sorry, guys.
And now Sabrina's going to give us a little backstory on Nikila and help us understand her.
Thanks, Stephanie. Yeah.
So that was your example of what an intro looks like. We gave context, we said what we were going to talk about. So that's why it's a good break, right? I mean, it's like
Yeah.
we moved and it edited out all the places where I said stupid stuff.
And me too. And it also, we don't forget, we said controversial good. You really should say your podcast name when you're doing it.
We do have a question.
Oh, yeah. So Nikila is a TikToker who has been calling.
I'm sorry. We do have a question. It's from Lou. Is all this work being done on Riverside, and how are you getting access to the AI? Is it on Riverside?
Yep.
Go, Sabrina.
All on Riverside. What you do, in order to do one of these recordings, now this is a paid, so just so you know, this is a paid benefit of the AI tools. But basically, all you have to do to start a podcast in Riverside, if you're getting, if you're wanting to do this, is you sign up, you create a new group, which is they set you up on all that. It's just like getting a setup, and then you send out the link to whoever you want to podcast with, or you can just do it on your own, whatever works for you. And then you start recording. And once the recording is uploaded, because it does download on each person's computer and then uploads again, that way, if there's a break with the internet or whatever, there's not a break in the recording. And then it puts it back together when it uploads. You don't have to do any of that. All you do is link, hit record, talk, hit stop recording, and everything is AI from that point of putting it back back together. And then when you're ready to edit, you go over to this side and start using those AI tools that are inside Riverside.
So in summary, if I could, let me make sure I understand. There's a paid version of Riverside. I believe it costs $29 a month. And what that does is give you access to all of the features and benefits that we are talking about. You can do it without it if you want to just get started. But in order to really do some of the advanced features, the AI stuff really pays off in spades.
Yeah, I mean, a 30-minute
terrible thing to
edit
say,
for
I'm
me takes hours without AI. Takes
Okay.
5 hours for just 30 minutes of video,
Did that help? Did that answer Lou's question?
hopefully.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right.
So,
Go ahead and keep playing.
all right, well, I'm gonna move this back up here.
Okay. Yeah.
So that we start at the beginning. So
Thanks, Stephanie. Yeah, so Nikila is a TikToker who has been calling churches and other religious institutions and explaining her 2-month-old baby hasn't eaten since the night before. She tells them that she's called all the local resources and everybody's out of things, and she's been told to call the local religious institutes and see if they could help. While she's doing this, there is a recording of a baby crying in the background because
did you guys see everything that skipped over in the transcript where it said Stephanie? That was cut out because I was just saying dumb stuff. It doesn't have in the background me going, oh yeah, ooh, that's it. It's gone. And we just continue seamlessly to Sabrina.
this is a social experiment. So there's a baby in the background crying while she's making these calls. And she asked, as far as I know, at least 42 churches for assistance in buying formula, which is like less than $20, so that she could make it through and feed her baby. Of the 42 churches she asked and religious institutions that she asked, 9 said yes, 33 Christian churches said no. And
so we looked at this because this was an interesting piece. It cut out a bunch of what I said. And I was like, well, why'd you do that? And it decided that that particular sentence didn't contribute positively to the podcast. That's the best way I can describe it. Is that fair?
Yeah. And
Okay.
it asks you when it cuts whole sections. They just cut it. But when it asks you if you want to cut this section because it seems irrelevant, you have to approve it. So it doesn't just automatically cut it. That way you have a little more control.
Good call.
They were all Christian churches of various denominations, Baptist, Methodist, etc. Now Stephanie's going to talk more about why this is controversial.
Freakish, isn't it? That in this situation, in this environment, when we're working through the SNAP benefits and people are going hungry, that religious institutions that profess to be embracing and encompassing and all welcoming are kind of like, man, maybe no, not us. And I found the response from the non-Christian denominations to be very hopeful to me, because in my world, any sort of institution that doesn't embrace the needs of their neighbor while trying to solve world hunger is missing the equation, particularly given that these are local churches in her community. We are not talking, she called United Way. She called the Church of the Three-Headed Snakes down the road, and they had nothing for her because they got three-headed snakes, not any help for their families. That makes me crazy. I think that is just, ugh.
And a lot of the religious people are, especially the ones. So I do want to say something real quick so that we don't all get like, there's no offense meant here. Stephanie and I picked roles to play in this. So we're playing our roles in this.
That's
right
correct.
now.
I was doing the say all the things that are controversial part and let Sabrina clean it all up after me part.
Basically, yeah, I'm the devil's advocate or whatever on the other side. I don't believe half of what I said, but it's fine.
Cecilia had something, I think.
Okay.
Well, Lou would like us to switch screens so that we can see Stephanie's view of how this looks.
We are looking at Stephanie's view. I am hosting Riverside.
That's what I
have a
thought.
paid copy, and we are doing all of the editing on my laptop.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I chose that role primarily because it's faster, better, easier to keep it moving.
And the other
Oh,
part
no.
of it is this is inside Riverside. We are going to show you how to get it outside of Riverside, but while you're doing editing and everything, it needs to be in Riverside.
And it is, yeah, we are absolutely editing on the fly. I mean, I could take something out and maybe we'll do that with the magic clip and then re-render it while we're doing something else and come back to it because it's easy. It just takes time for the video to re-prepare itself. And that's where we run into a problem during these calls. We're watching the screen spin. So we're trying to omit the screen spinning for you guys and give you the whole experience without the lag time. God, I can talk.
Okay, so go ahead and keep playing.
Okay.
Who are Christians, because it was Christian churches that said no, they're pretty upset about it. And I will say this, she did call more Christian churches than she did others. So the proportions are off, and I will give them the benefit of that.
I don't know, a denominator of 0 is 0, no matter how many you call. I mean, God love her if she was trying to just get a denominator of 1, so she would have some sort of response. I mean, right now, what she has is a null value. I mean, she has an empty space.
That's true. And I will say on the flip side of it, she would have been incredibly lucky to only call the exact religious institution for non-Christian churches because they all said yes.
No, I too was struck by that in the recounting of her story and in what I listened to. And I thought to myself, all the talk that we're having now about how the Bible rules everything and the misappropriation, I think, in my experience, of Bible verses for harm rather than good. The origins of the idea we need to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps as a Christian value. That is how capitalism took over Christianity, not Christianity.
Agreed. But I will also say on the flip side, there are some amazing religious people out there, including Christians. In fact, one of the videos I enjoyed the most was this little old guy. He was so sweet the whole time. I think he even said something like, "What's your plan at the end of the can?" So what are you going to do after I give you this form? How much more help do you need? Which was very sweet. I loved that.
I agree. I listened to a fella who he was taking down information and he didn't know how he was going to help. But in that process, he at least exhibited the right instincts. He didn't run out to figure out how to take her kid away because she can't feed it. So we must need to get DHS or whoever the equivalent of family services involved, because that could happen if you ask for help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I 100% believe. And I will say there was a lot of good that came out of this. So, for example, of the 9 churches that did say yes, there were multiple people around the world who sent good reviews to those churches on Yahoo or Google or whatever. And they also received donations from people all over because they were willing to help. So a bunch of people sent money to the churches and the religious institutes. And then some really positive stuff did kind of come out of it. Like, for example,
what were you seeing in the comments, Sabrina? How were people responding?
So there were 2 different responses, basically. One was positive. Muslims said, "Thank you so much. You're helping, combat the negative stereotypes about Muslims." So, and there's a lot of positive like that. Or there's some more negative, like you're lying when you do this, not right. You're lying when you do this, and that's not right. Or you're testing the churches, and you shouldn't be doing that.
Because if one of their members came to them and asked them for formula, I am sure that they would be absolutely willing to help, right? So, some interloper coming in from the outside asking for help, not so well received.
No, and some of the churches did say, "Are you a member?" And I think at least one said, "We only help our members," basically. And I was like, that's unfortunate. So next we're going to discuss more of this controversy, and we're going to end right here for a moment, though, because that's
a perfect place to edit.
Yeah. So frequently when I'm doing my podcast, I am communicating. If I'm with another podcaster, I'm communicating with that other podcaster during the recording. I don't shut it off to have it off conversation with them. I use my podcaster voice for some reason, and I told Stephanie to turn it off. Don't be fooled. It was just my voice. I was telling Stephanie to stop recording. So that's not relevant, and we can remove that.
I am going to start it from the beginning of right there, just so we see what we're going to delete, just so we play that clip so we understand it's isolated.
More of this controversy, and we're going to end right here for a moment, though, because that's a good 5 minutes. I'm telling you that, not.
All right. So we get it. Now, I think the way that I edit is I just come right here and I select the text.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. You tell me. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead and do it, because I think it's actually going to create a mistake. So do it and let's see what happens.
Okay. So when I highlight, I hope you folks can see the pop-up that came up where I have choices. And one of the choices is to delete. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete that segment or that piece of this podcast so that we no longer have a conversation between Sabrina and I ending it, and we can end on a good note. Did I do right?
Yeah, it's probably just not. Did you delete it? Is it deleted on yours?
Well, yes, it appears to be deleted on mine, but I have trouble with this. I can't. Yeah, because it's telling me now I have to restore it.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you go back now just a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll roll up just to the very end.
Yeah, just
hang on. Let me.
I don't think that's gonna. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be my. Well, you can start it going to discuss and see what happens.
So we have conclusion.
Yeah.
Sorry, something weird is going on. Something weird is going on with me, and that's my bad because I don't know how to navigate.
And the religious institutes, and then some really positive stuff did kind of come out of it. Like, for example,
what were you seeing in the comments, Sabrina? How were people?
One was
because if one of their members came to them and asked them for formula, I am sure that they would be absolutely willing to help, right? So, some interloper coming in from the outside asking for help, not so well received.
No, and some of the churches did say, "Are you a member?" And I think at least one said, "We only help our members," basically. And I was like, "That's unfortunate." So, next we're going to discuss.
So, did we cut too much?
Potentially. And so that's what I'm saying. You have to be
good.
This is where the personal editing comes in, because what we cut was more of this controversy. And I think Stephanie probably saw the controversy above and thought we didn't need it, but we actually do need that, or else I just cut off weirdly.
Yep. So I'm going to restore that.
Yeah.
Because I can take just that little bit.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Like we knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
More of this controversy. And
perfect.
To be clear, I would have a better ending, but just to kind of show the editing for you guys.
Let's pause for a second.
I meant to say ending.
Let's pause for a second because we just did a lot. I don't know if anybody has questions, comments, etc.
We have not had questions in the thing, but does anyone have comments or questions at this time?
Yeah, it's a good break point. Thank you for letting us get through that. Is it interesting? Is everybody asleep? I don't know.
Y'all, that was really well done. I will say, like, that was so Alfeo.
It was a tight 5 minutes. It was a tight 5 minutes, Cecilia. Go, please.
Unmute yourself.
Hi. No, I just wanted to distinguish a little bit between this is great, and we are looking and learning how to edit. But a lot of these podcasters are doing it on the fly and live. And so we have a difference here between someone you might see like a Hal Sparks and what he does, and some of the MSNBC reporters. And I'm just making that distinguish. We're making a nice edited program, whereas not everybody does it this way. That's all. And
you're absolutely right. And we could do that. We could record live.
Mm-hmm.
We chose not to do that because we wanted this particular segment. What we're going to do, though, hopefully, is at the end of this, we are going to take it to YouTube. And you're absolutely right. I mean, defined content as opposed to live content is
Mhm.
a different animal,
Oh yeah.
a different animal. But good point, Alfeo. Thank you.
And
Well,
so
go ahead.
go ahead.
I was just going to tell y'all, no questions, but such a great demo from Brooke and Gina.
Mhm.
Very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And Cindy, not a question, but I was
Okay, okay, I
enthralled.
got it. I just want to
Awesome.
know that, when you're sitting here doing this, you're like, you don't have folks in front of you who are nodding their heads. You're just kind of talking and going, I guess that works. So, okay, good. As long as we
Yeah,
finish,
these,
go ahead.
Oh, but hey, wait, they need hands-on. Walter Kindred, no question, seems to be somewhat user-friendly. I think I need hands-on.
Well, go
Yeah,
practice. Go
this is
do it.
Walt here. Yeah, as your explanations go and you give the examples and explain things that you're doing and things that don't go right, it seems to be very clear. And I would imagine that if I was to apply what you were doing, I would make a lot of mistakes, but it's just a matter of getting coordinated, my hand-eye brain coordinated to the application itself.
Absolutely.
Well,
I
Walter,
only
let me
go
say
ahead,
something real quick, Walter.
please.
I started this in the spring, and you know when my first post was? I think August. I had to get comfortable with this. Absolutely.
Well,
But this was all self-learned. I didn't have somebody showing me what to do because Riverside is that easy to use. And Alfeo, real quickly, I want to address what you said. Yes, absolutely. You can stream live and you can use Riverside to do it. I don't know. It'll depend on your needs if you
mhm.
really need Riverside because you can do live through other ways, Zoom, TikTok. There's a lots of ways to do
YouTube,
live.
yeah.
Yeah, but this is the thing that I would say. If you're going to do live, you need to be ready for that because it is not if you're going to talk
Oh,
for
yeah. Oh,
5
yeah.
minutes, maybe you can hold it. But unless you're really experienced, live's going to be or you're just really talented. Live means mistakes. And if you're okay with that, not a perfectionist like me, it's easier to do that. I will get there. I will get to the live thing once
you
I'm
and
a
I
little
are
more
going to
comfortable.
practice this. By God, we're going to get you comfortable. I promise.
Yeah, the one
Huh?
video I did, I use the old Windows editor.
Yeah,
Boy, you got a lot more features on this, that you can do. Wow.
you know,
With the AI, with the words and everything.
if
It makes a
if you're editing via the old Windows editor, by God, love you, man. That was an
Yeah.
act of love
Oh,
for
oh,
that
I learned a
video.
lot, but and I
Yeah,
don't even know if I could do it again or remember it, at the time.
completely understandable. I feel you because I have done that. I used to have the occasion to have to get announcements for prompts on phones correct. So
Mhm.
somebody would record it and then I'd have to mess with it. And I used old rendering and editing software. So that's my experience with this. And this is like a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
I would have sent them a link, they would have recorded it, I would have edited it and used it. It would have changed the world.
Mhm.
So,
That's why I love tech. I love tech.
well,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
we love it and hate it, but you know what? We're doing it now because
We love
everybody
and hate
else is.
everything. We love and hate cars. We love and hate a lot of things.
Mhm.
No doubt. So where are we going with this now?
Okay, so if there's no more questions right now, the next thing we're going to look at, I want to go back to that clip that she showed earlier. So when you're in this, you can go back. It automatically saves, by the way. It's regularly saving. You don't have to do that. You see that little cloud next to the hand with the check in it. I don't know if y'all can see it, but basically that's saying it's saved. You can go back now. So go ahead and go back. Yeah, that one. And then go back. So we've made this video, right? AI does other things for us, not just the editing, but then also made for you. So made for you has some really great features too. The first one is show notes. So Stephanie, if you could click on that.
Yep.
What it shows you is keywords to use for like hashtags, etc. A summary of what we talked about and key takeaways.
And just so
It
you
does,
know, those little pages right there are your copy feature. You don't
yeah.
have to you can take this and copy a segment out of it and put it wherever you want to.
Yeah, and scroll down. I think the takeaways is last, but I can't remember if they add something else.
Hang on, I'm scrolling. I'm
I
just doing a
know.
bad
Scroll.
job of it.
FYI, everybody, scrolling when you're on Zoom is so hard when you're sharing screen. Okay, here, and so they give you some titles, some sound bites, and the chapters and where they start. And those are all automatically generated, including the chapters. That was automatically generated. We didn't do any of this.
Nope.
So that's a very nice feature too, because whenever you post on any of the services, like, the podcasting services like YouTube and stuff, you usually have to put some of this stuff in there. They're usually asking for titles and summaries, etc. So you're going to need this stuff, and it's already done for you, and just edit as you wish.
So I'll tell you what,
Okay.
I'm going to copy that so that we have
Yeah.
it later. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, it
Okay,
might
let's
actually
do
be
that.
good because you're going to do the YouTube thing, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Well, before we go, I just want to show the other made for you, and then we can go to that.
Yeah, sorry, I got myself
You're
dithered
good.
here. No, I'm actually not, but it's okay.
Listen, I think Bill said he likes it when we are not perfect.
There you go.
I don't agree with him, but I do love it.
I know you do. I have to minimize everything to get back to Riverside. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's the whole thing, right?
Oh,
Tech, you love and hate
God.
it.
Well, the Zoom presentation and using a web app while I'm doing it and everything that goes with that
That's
is
okay.
navigation requires multiple hand navigation.
Oh, no, I totally understand. And I'm going to say, so if you go ahead and close that out, are you there? Okay.
Yep, I'm
Go ahead
ready.
and close out and scroll down.
Okay.
And so the clip that you guys saw that everybody seemed to really enjoy, which I love, it was created again by AI. So it's that first clip right there. And Stephanie, could you hover over the number? The 90, a little bit more. So this 99 and 75 and 70 for the 3 clips, this is a score of how much viral potential it has. So how good is this clip? And this one got 99. And I love the human confirmation that you guys liked it, because that, validates it. But it made 2 other clips for us as well. You can edit these, you can share these directly. You have all the options with this, just like you had with the major episode. It just cuts it out for you, which makes it very nice if you're going to publish on TikTok. Because again, a lot of this is time intensive. I mean, Stephanie and I did this amount of work. We started at about 9:30 and we went to the wire of 11:30. So it took us 2 hours to do everything you're seeing.
I was amazed by that, frankly, that we were able to get there from here. I mean, thankfully you had a script and a plan, and it still took us an hour just to get ready to record. So I think that was great. So these
important, hold on. The really important thing there is that is probably one of the most, if not the most important thing with a podcast. You need to have something that's going to entice people to listen to a much longer clip, right? You need to have a topic that people are interested in, but not just that they're interested in. And I'll give an example. I've had lots of ideas for podcasts, but some of them I just throw away because I'm like, nobody cares about that but you, girl. And so a lot of times people want to talk about things like their kids or their dogs or the cats, that kind of pretty daily stuff, which is fine. You can make a podcast out of anything, but you need to make sure there's some kind of hook in it. Like people want to listen. Why would somebody want to listen to it? So with the controversial good, I think it's pretty obvious. There's a controversy, there's a debate. People are going to be thinking, it'll make people think when they're listening to it and probably react. Some people might not be too happy with what I've said or what Stephanie has said. So it could get like, more, or even just making people think, etc. It has to be interesting, is basically what I'm saying. That is the most important part. So developing your idea and developing your episodes is incredibly important. And I will say this again, I say it every time. If you have a topic in your mind, like for example, controversial good, you need to come up with at least 10 to 12 episode ideas. So for this, it was easy. There's a bazillion, right? We could talk about a lot of controversial good stuff. So that was easy. I knew this could work. But I did that with my autism podcast because this isn't something that necessarily everybody cares about. So I need it to be interesting and I need to make sure I can talk about it. And honestly, as I kept going through the podcast, I keep inviting people. Like, I'm not afraid to ask anybody to be on my podcast. I asked my son's hairdresser. I asked if Stephanie's going to come on now. So like, I'm not afraid to ask people. So that's a part of it too. You need to be a little brave. It takes some bravery, and I'm going to expect the bravery before this is over. from
Well,
somebody in the group.
all right. Well, then we need to get through this part.
Yeah.
So the AI score was generated because Riverside went out and looked at all the algorithms and said, these are the best things that are going to make this one actually pop in terms of retention or eyeballs, everything everybody's competing for, right? We all want eyeballs. Okay, so that's how it got that score. What do we want to do with it?
So if you want to show them, because this is good for the podcasting. I don't have a lot more on that in particular, other than sharing it. And
Okay.
I didn't know how to do YouTube. Stephanie figured it out. YouTube without. So one of the things that I do is I only use audio. We started out with just using audio. And the reason is it's a lot easier, right? Video, when I cut the audio or cut those words out, I don't know if you guys noticed, but you can kind of see there was a cut there on the video. You might
gotta
not hear
look
it in the
hard. You gotta
audio.
look hard.
I'm a perfectionist.
You
Anyway,
gotta look hard.
whatever. Also, on my other podcast, we never fix ourselves up, so we don't want anybody to see us. But anyway,
And we see
it's a
how well
vanity
I
thing.
coiffed myself for the engagement, right?
Listen, I
Okay.
still, this is why I look horrible on my podcast. I don't care. Anyway,
All right. So this would be the part that I have not done in real time with you while using Zoom, while. So
yeah.
we're gonna, if we don't make it all the way there, I swear to God, it can be done and I can show you. But we're gonna start a share. So what I had to do in order to be able to share to YouTube is I had to make what is called a creator account, which is not hard. There's nothing to it. You have to answer some questions and be willing to maybe, I don't know. We have to answer some questions. We can do that next week, how you do the setup of YouTube and all those things if there's interest. Because I don't want to carry somebody somewhere they don't want to go in terms of interest. So you may be only interested peripherally. So I'm going to give it a shot and then we'll see what happens. Okay, we ready?
And
Let's-
also, just so you know, you have to set up creator accounts for most of the places that you share. So like Spotify or other places, they require creators accounts too.
Because in so many
Are easy to
situations,
do. They're easy to
yeah,
set up.
in so many situations, we're both consumers and creators of the same platform.
Yeah. Yeah. I went on the wrong Spotify multiple times before I figured out what I was doing wrong. Anyway.
Okay, this is the share screen. Can we see it? First of all, did it pop up?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, good. So what you see here is you see a connection to YouTube. I am going to select that. It's going to ask me some questions. Do I want to remove a watermark? Absolutely. Do I want to normalize the audio track? So that would mean that we both are leveled and we don't have a lot of variation. And remove background noise. Absolutely, just because who wants it? And I'm now going to select export.
Even when
Now,
you do that, those things though, I always encourage people to definitely listen to it again because AI is doing this stuff and it's not always perfect. It's really good, but listen to it again because like the audio stuff might, cancel out something you said. You just need to make sure it's still good when you get it to the place you're posting.
okay, now I need to take a look at something. Is it possible for us to have Rebecca start on Linktree while I make sure that this all went over to YouTube correctly? Because what you saw was all there was once you set it up for Sabrina. That's it.
Yeah.
I just published. I just want to make sure it worked well. So I need a little break in the conversation so it doesn't look kludgy for everybody.
No, absolutely.
So I'm going to
Rebecca?
pause if that's okay. I don't know.
Rebecca,
I don't know what I'm
I'm
totally
ready.
okay.
Okay.
Magnificent. All you.
All right, awesome. So, I think a bunch of you were with us last week when we sort of did the Linktree introduction. But if anybody wasn't, I will do the even quicker, even dirtier, well, maybe not dirtier version. I was going to say quick and dirty version of what Linktree is. So, the first thing I'll do is quickly walk through sort of a finished version of Linktree and what it could be used for, and then we'll go back to talking about how to build it. So what you're looking at on this blue side of the screen is the NWSOFA Linktree. So at the most general level, a link tree is just a way to have a list of links and make it look pretty. And that's kind of it. So we created one for NWSOFA, and we're using it as kind of a landing pad for any new folks who are, scanning a QR code, or they need to go to somewhere to find out what all of the things NWSOFA is up to. So we have, a welcome kit, we've got a sign up sheet, we've got, all of our socials and a way to donate. So you can see like all of these links. So this is what the finished product looks like. And it's mainly, like I said, just a way to have a one-stop shop for everything about a group, an organization. I think stores like online stores use link trees, social media influencers, etc. So that is the finished version of one. But what we started to talk about last week was how do you set up your own? And we got started. So we got as far as basically signing up for an account. And for the sake of having an example, we decided to set up a link tree for our sorting soup group that we have it's on Thursdays at 5, and the whole point of the group is to kind of process things together as a group and figure out action items and insights. So that's the purpose of the group. And right now in Sorting Soup, we're doing kind of a book club. So if anybody hasn't joined us for book club, would love to have you join. Again, Thursdays at 5 Central. This same link would be great for y'all to join. Before I jump into the various steps, Stephanie, are you want me to keep
Please keep
going?
going. Please
Okay.
keep going, Rebecca. I'm working on making sure the YouTube channel looks right. So
Okay, cool.
carry on. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So at this point, this is sort of where we left off. Sabrina asked, when is book club? It is in the normal Sorting Soup time slot, which is Thursdays at 5 Central. And you'll just come back into this same Zoom link for NWSOFA. This is one of the books that we are focused on here on the left side, this Project 2025 Survival Guide. We realized that it is only available on Amazon. So we're doing our best to put together PDFs of the chapters for folks. I'm sort of midstream putting that together for chapter 1 and chapter 2. So,
Really sorry about that, y'all.
We'll live and learn,
Yeah.
But it is a really good book. And it was written like last year. So, and reading through it, it's like, wow, that happened, that happened, that happened. Anyway, so this is one of the books or one of the links that I want to include in the link tree. So I'll just start over. So when you have your link tree, this is the sort of administration page. So when you're setting it up, you have links, shop, design. So links is kind of what you want to list on your page. Shop, I think, is if you are more of like a store and you want people to buy things from you, you would add them in the shop section. That's not relevant for us, so we're going to skip that. And then the design is more like, how do we make it pretty and clickable and all of those lovely things. So that's hopefully what we'll be able to focus on today. So what I've done, I have my Linktree administration page on the right, and then I've got another window that just has some of the links that I wanted to share. So in order to add a link, you're going to go to the page that you want to add, and then up here in the address bar at the top, it'll look a little different if you're on your phone, but you should be able to find the address somewhere, and it'll usually start with HTTPS. So you'll copy that entire link. So if you click on it, it'll highlight the entire link, and then you can either do Control C or you can right click and hit copy. So that will copy the link. And then back on your Linktree page, you're going to click add. So you're going to add a link to your list. And then you're going to paste the link that you just copied. So Linktree is looking at my link and it says, oh, you're on Amazon. This must be a product. Well, okay, so we'll click that and it'll try and add that to my list of links. Because it's a product, it's going to ask me if I want to put it in my shop section, and that way we would get like a 3.5% commission just if people went through our link to buy it on Amazon.
You know, if I liked Amazon, I'd be all about that, but I
Yeah.
don't. So no.
No.
That is still kind of nice, though. That is a
Yeah, I
massive
know.
way to make money. And if you're buying it anyway from Amazon, I don't know, getting something out of it.
Okay, well,
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely an option. I'm not going to click that option right now. I haven't done that before, so there might be other like steps that you have to follow, like setting up a bank account or I don't know, all of that. So we're just going to skip that and use my link.
mhm.
And then people will go directly from the link tree to the Amazon page if they wanted to buy it. Okay.
It
All
wouldn't
right.
be more expensive, though, if you use that 3.5%, would it? It would just be the same price? Okay.
I think it would take whatever's on the Amazon page and plus it up by
Yeah, it's
3.5%,
more
and we would
expensive.
get that.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. I wouldn't do that either.
I mean, if we want, that'd be awesome if like we screwed Amazon out of 3.5%, but I don't think it works that way.
I don't think it works that way either.
Yeah,
But it
I
would be
started to
awesome.
think about it and I was like, oh, is it more expensive?
Yeah. So you're either if you're gonna screw your people.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Mm-mm.
So okay. So because this is a product, we have a couple of additional settings that we can choose here. So layout, here, I'll make this a little bigger. So you can see how it kind of appears. It'll always show you on the right side of the page the preview of how your link tree looks. So what we can do is for this Project 2025 Survival Guide, you can change the layout. So you can either have this like little mini short section, or if you're like, I want people to see this one really big, you can choose this featured. And then it's going to become like it's going to get a lot of real estate on your Linktree page. The other thing that you can do is, or that I would like to do, okay. Well, I kind of wanted to change the name of the of of this instead of saying, the Project 2025 Survival Guide, blah, 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 blah. Kind of just wanted to shorten it. Maybe we'll be able to do that later in design. We'll have to see. Okay. I have two or three other links that I want to add, so I'll do that real quick. The other book that we are sprinkling throughout is this Lessons from Cats for Surviving Fascism, which you can see that I actually purchased. So I'm going to the page for the book and I copied the link. And now I'm going to add it to the page. So I'm going to tell it that I have a link. I copy and paste and click that.
Yay. Good job.
Thank you.
I'm so proud that you bought the book.
I did buy it. It's supposed to be delivered today.
I think your girls are gonna love it.
I think so too.
Honest.
Okay, it says earn money with this link. I think this is the same thing as the 3.5%. I'm just going to, oh, 3.5% comes from Amazon and doesn't change the price.
Hey.
Well, that would be cool if true. We could try it out.
We
If
Yeah, I would
somebody,
look into
we
it
could-
more because I just Googled it and the AI generated said it's usually consistent pricing.
Okay, we should try it.
because if we could get 3.5% in our little account, we could just like funnel that back to the
Bill.
NWSOFA.
Yeah, exactly. Another way of just, yeah, that's a good idea. We should do that.
Alright.
And that could go into like a sorting soup account. Okay, yeah, this is a good idea.
Okay. Okay, so here you can see, I don't know why we're not allowed to change the name for this one, but you can see the pencil, and
Right.
that means that it's editable. So if I click the pencil, I can change how it shows up. So if I just want to say lessons from cats for surviving fascism, and I wanted to just change it so that it's just the author's name in parentheses afterwards. There we go. And I could update the link. And then the other thing I could do is add a little thumbnail. And you can either do a thumbnail like it's the picture of the book, or you could do like a little icon. I like these tabler icons. I think they're super cute. They're just super tiny little, I don't know. Let's see if they have a cat. Yeah. So you can see, you can just
That's
search
cool.
for kind of whatever. So like if we add the cat icon, then that's what shows up next to the
Perfect.
thing. There's other options in there that you saw, like use AI or upload your own, or whatever. You could play around with the rest of these. I like the icons because they're ready to go and you can just search for them. Okay. Another thing is that once you've added all your links, you can just use these little like grabby dot things over here and drag and drop if you want to change the order. So now we see the Project 2025 is on top and Lessons from Cats is underneath. And then I'll add one more, which is for our self-care side of the sorting soup. I'm going to add it as a link.
In case y'all forgotten, our tree of contemplative practices.
Yes, and so you can see it found a picture of a tree and it added it up there. we could, if you didn't like the picture of the tree, you could click on that little thumbnail button and click change and choose something else. So it is very customizable. I'm going to move this to the third link, and it's saving as we go along for the most part. So once we've added all of our links, then we can go over to the shop. I don't know that much about shop, so let's look at it. Okay, we don't have the shop set up yet, but I think we could at some point. Let me look more into this, and then maybe next week we can come back to that. For now, let's play around with the design. So right now, this is what it looks like. So if you went to linktree.ee/sorting soup, this is what it looks like. And here I can just go there or try to.
Oh.
So this is what it looks like right now. So that's pretty good. But maybe we don't like the font. Maybe we don't like the colors as much
I
as
don't
we
like the
did last
color.
week.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It looks
I'm
green. Like,
yeah.
I just don't like the color at all.
Okay. So, couple of things we can do here. You can change your fonts, you can change your colors. Let's do our wallpaper because that is objectionable at the moment. So if we are like, this green is hideous, well, first of all, you can choose from a number of different themes. So maybe we're like, this nourish theme might be like tasty, but it's kind of also hideous in
Yeah, I'm
my
not into the
opinion.
green.
And then, by the way, anything that shows this little lightning bolt thing is something you have to pay for. So you kind of have to like pick and choose.
That one. The one let's just go there because I like the purple and the it's popping right now. Let's just pop or Twilight. Either the blocks or Twilight.
Yeah, that's a pro.
Oh, that's a pro. Sorry, my bad. I didn't see that one.
And we can change all of this. Like this is just a starting point. I would like to have something that picks up some of the colors from our logo.
Right. What about mineral?
What is mineral? Yeah. Cool. All right. So it's a starting place. So then we're going to go down to wallpaper, and maybe we like, do we like the just straight up background, or do we like the gradient? And we can do a different color. What would be really cool is if they had like one of those eyedropper things so that you could pick a color from here, but so you can kind of play around with it and
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All right. So we got
Yeah, there's options.
plenty of time to play.
You've also got what do you want your buttons to look like? So this sort of changes the look of your buttons. You know, you get it.
Wow.
Your text, you can change your what is up? Okay. Presets. I don't know. Oh, so your font, how do you change
Oh no,
your
that's
font?
pro.
Can change your font somewhere. Colors? Okay. Anyway, so it is a little bit
You have to push and click and work with it, Rebecca, like we do with everything.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we're running out of time. So
I think that's a wonderful launching pad for what we can do next week
Yeah.
exactly.
in the
And
link tree.
the last thing that you want to hit is the save button.
Mm.
It won't let you save if you have anything that's like what do you call it?
Unresolved.
Like pro.
Ah,
Um, and it will show that little lightning bolt if you have anything that is pro selected. So you would kind of just have to scroll through all your settings and be like, okay, what did I do?
Laura also says that we could look at colors elsewhere online, pick up the hex codes belonging to colors we like, and that's a way we could be consistent with our colors throughout.
I'll get
Yes.
right on that.
That's what I do.
Yeah. And
Something else you can do is what I did with mine is I found a color I liked. I created another link tree, so I have two, and I wanted to use the same color scheme. So you can look at what the hex code is on your colors and then just take the number and insert the number elsewhere so you are consistent. So
yes, you
Okay.
can.
just a thought.
I think we put Laura in charge of this. By God, she's got it hooked up.
I think so.
She can demo that for us next week.
But what we're going to need to do though is finish the podcasting portion of this because we're running short on time.
So I am ready, I think. Oh, I know I'm ready to
Thank you, Rebecca. Real quick though. Thank you, Rebecca.
Oh.
That was an excellent presentation. Thank you.
We never thank Rebecca enough for being as smooth as she is and
We don't.
covering my lame self while we're while I'm doing the background work that I will explain, but just did not want you to have to sit through. So thank you everybody and mostly thank you, Rebecca, for stepping in there on the fly. So I'm pick up where we left off. We were in the process of doing the share. So I don't have a fully developed presence on YouTube. So I had to record a video for them to ensure that I was human. It's under review. So I am going to have to show you this and have you take a leap of faith that next week I'll actually go through the process. If everybody's good with that, then I will go ahead and go.
Let's go.
All right. I hit share here. It gives me a link. That link is now copied. If I come up here and I drop the link in YouTube. No, stop. I do not want Gemma. I apologize. That was way too excited by me. So I'm now in a new tab. And I can paste that link as anyone would see it if they were going direct to YouTube. Ah, for God's sake, I have the wrong link. I am so sorry. I had this all worked out before I had to actually do it.
You know what? You said you're going to look at this next week. We could totally do this next week because I still have that exercise we could do to finish this out.
No, God damn it, we're doing it.
Okay, sorry.
Everybody is going to see this video.
Okay.
I have spent way too much time doing it to not be able to show it.
That's true. Fair.
How about that? That's my bottom line.
We're sticking to it.
At least for the moment. Thank you. I appreciate everybody
No worries.
letting me do this.
You.
Thank you.
Sabrina and Stephanie.
Yes, we made a podcast. Isn't it silly?
No, it's fantastic. I love that we do this.
It is so silly. I love it.
And
go ahead.
While we're talking through all of this, are you ready to talk again?
I'm not.
I was just going to say that since I thought of this idea 3 hours ago about the controversial good, I actually think it would be a really good podcast if anybody else.
I was thinking that same thing. And you know, we have people here that would be really good to be on it. So the podcast that I wanted to start was Grounds for Conversation. And I wanted it to be like the Big Daddy and to have little podcast babies that would be able to go off and go and maybe one and I don't know. Yeah, that was my idea.
All right, I'm not going to pull it off, so screw it. I'm keeping everybody here wrong, and that's just not
That's okay. Listen,
Next week, intro.
what I was saying was if anybody's interested in the Controversial Good podcast, I would absolutely 100% be in it to win it on that. I think I think it could be very popular, and I also think that there are plenty of episodes.
That's a great idea. So that seems to me like a promo for next week, where we may actually get some folks together and actually do a controversial goods episode. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, we're gonna have to think through it, but yeah, anybody who's interested, 100%. Are we out of time or no? We still have time. Okay, or we're out of time.
I mean, to me, it's 1:50. We're an
we're
hour
over.
and 15.
Okay, I didn't know how long we went, so
we
that's
always go an hour 15, Cecilia, and you know it. Anything else is just
I know.
pretend. But I think we're pushing it now. So I would say close us out.
Yeah, no, we're good. I don't.
Thank you, everybody. There is so much on this topic. We try and segment it into pieces so that it's a learnable chunk at a time. And this time, I think we did a good job of going over editing. And Rebecca did a magnificent job of extending us on the link tree. And I really appreciate everybody coming to our podcast.
Y'all, if you are interested in a controversial good, please do put that in the chat. That would help us. And if you would put your email information in the chat so we can get in touch with you before next week, because
Amen.
that would be even better.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Cecilia, contact me offline.
I will. This sounds like a grand. Sorry?
You have my phone number?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I will.
All right. We'd cut that part out of the podcast. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah, y'all are just an amazing crew. All right. Who
Walter's in.
Oh, Walter's in.
All right.
Oh, Cindy. We got two.
Okay. All right.
This will be fun. I'm excited.
I think we have an ample supply of creators if we have a good technology platform and ease of use to get that done. And Sabrina, I believe you have got that under control. And then Beth, of course, is going to run the view. We're still waiting. No, trust me, we have a whole vignette organized around the view for you, Beth.
I can't wait.
Well, trust me, Sabrina has got you going.
Like this is what I was like. The grounds for conversation would be like the Big Daddy podcast that keeps all of these little ones, like introduces all these little ones flowing and throughout the NWSOFA
ecosphere. I am picking up what you are putting down, Cecilia.
Exactly. Like I see it. I saw it all in the when y'all. We are.
If it is to be, it's up to me. Let's make it so.
Oh,
Where's Constance? Shouldn't she be on these calls with us?
I don't think well, this isn't exactly about the planning for the big podcast. It was more about how to podcast. So we're using that as a jumping off point for what we might do with this technology, because technology is just an enabler. It's not an end. It's a start.
Yeah.
So we're foundationally getting started.
Is Constance interested in a podcast? Sorry, I'm not.
Yes, very much so. And she is definitely our talker.
And I would be honest, after the last couple of days of interacting with Constance, yeah, between just me and her, I think there would be plenty of conversation.
Let me put it this way, Sabrina. She would have been the person in speech and debate that had all the cards. She would have been bringing every single book, like the suitcase. She would have had all the suitcases. She would have had all of the she would. Oh my gosh, you remember Stacy and Dan?
Dan. I was thinking of Dan. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's her. Okay.
Got it.
So.
And me, I just show up and hope for the best and go, I know about this, and I'm sorry if I don't have a link. I'll find one maybe.
Yeah.
But I know my shit.
Crazy.
I am. Anyway. I actually, when I plan, can do better, can't I, Sabrina?
You were wonderful all day. Stephanie put in a lot of effort and almost missed her lunch for this. So
no. That's not my point. Is I really can clean up when I need to.
Yeah, we know we need to.
All right, everybody. That's enough of the insider baseball.
Oh, right, Steph, you need to cut the recording. You're the hostess with the
The
most.
only way I can cut the recording is to cut the call.
That's not true.
No,
You
go
go
Okay.
to
to
the
the
top.
more and you go,
I can disconnect YouTube. You're absolutely right. I believe that I can disconnect YouTube.
yep, you turn off